Okay, there we go. Looks like we're ready to get going, everyone. Good morning and welcome to the Saturday morning new member training. John Cini does these the first Saturday of every month, and this is going to be a real treat for us here this morning. John's background is pretty legendary in this industry. He's been written up in books. He's built massive organizations and multiple companies over the last 33 plus years. And so just being able to glean some of the knowledge that he's built up working full time in an industry for 33 years is a real privilege for all of us here today. So my name's Art Phelps. I'm one of the co-founders of Nexus Rewards. And I just want to share some numbers and some stats because we did have a pretty incredible August. When you consider that August is typically the slowest month of the year, we did not see that with Nexus. I mean, we saw some great growth. And so I want to acknowledge some people who really rocked it in the month of August and went out and really shared the opportunity and, just got a bunch of signups and are building and growing their business during typically the slowest month of the year. So let's start out with our top 10 recruiters or enrollers, I guess is a better word. We're really not recruiting people. We're just enrolling them into this wonderful opportunity. We've got Jeff Johnson, had 14 signups in the month of August. That's awesome. We had Robert Dudley, 14 signups as well. Congratulations to Jeff and Robert. Adriana Geyer, 16 signups. Tyler Yost, 20 signups. Trey Snodgrass, 21 signups. Luke Thomas, 25 signups. Marco Riccardi, 33 signups. Yusuf Akanalawan, 49 signups. Brittany Johnson, 69 signups. Little quick story about Brittany. Brittany was sponsored by one of our members who is no longer with us, Alonzo Brown. Tragically, Alonzo lost his life a couple of weeks ago, and he is ranking up through the Nexus compensation plan. We're building a legacy income for his family, and he's gone from pro to pro 25 to pro 50. He's knocking on the door to become a 1-star. And he's not even here. But what he did before he left us temporarily, I mean, sooner or later, we're all going to be together anyways, right? But before he left us, is he sponsored about 20, 30 people into this business. And now he's got a legacy income that will go for generations into his family. So that's pretty amazing that can happen so quickly. He'd only been with us for about a month. And so it's pretty amazing. And all these people are doing that. Brittany Johnson, 69 signups in the month of August. So congratulations to Brittany. And Rod Coles takes the cake with 85 signups. 85 signups. That's almost 3 a day. That's pretty crazy. So congratulations to Rod. I also want to acknowledge some people who are getting going in August. We've actually had 29 people enroll people in the first 3 days of August. So that's congratulations to all those people. Top of the heap is Steve Smiley. He's got 2 signups. Marco Riccardi, he's got 2 signups. Jeff Johnson, he's got 2 signups. Remember, he was in August too. So congratulations to Jeff. Earl Stringer's got 2 signups. Dan Burnett, averaging 1 a day. Dan Burnett's got 3 signups, and so does Lisa Irby. So congratulations to all the people taking action. There's a whole bunch of people that signed up. As I said, 29 people have signed up at least one person in these first 3 days. So that's pretty cool. And you know what? This is the last weekend of summer. I know it's not over yet, but I think you guys will see the receptiveness of people to get going in September and the fall is historic in this industry. So not a better time for you to be involved with Nexus and to be sharing the Nexus opportunity with others. So before I turn this call over to our co-host, what I'd like to do, I just like to relay a little story. I was talking with John Cini yesterday and Scott Becker, and I was kind of telling him about some of the plans, some of the things we got coming up with this. And I was telling him, well, I got to shoot this video, and it has to be me and the camera. I've got to be like looking into people's eyes and stuff. And, you know, a lot of you guys have heard my voice. My voice is the voice of all the videos and stuff. Not all of them, but a lot of the videos and stuff. And I really have no problem with that. But, you know, the camera is a little weird for me. You know, I was just saying to them, I wish I was 20 years younger. I mean, I think it was halfway decent looking guy in my, you know, 30s and 40s and stuff like that. But, you know, age just kept keeping up with me and catching up to me. And, you know, I'm 66 now. And so, you know, I get the wrinkles and everything. And I'm like, ugh, I just wish I was 20 years younger, because I would maybe make a better looking impression. And John stopped me in the tracks and he said, no. All right. We look at you as like, who's that guy from Star Wars? We look at you as like Obiwan, you know, the old Obiwan guy. And just as he said that, I had him on speakerphone. Just as he said that, my wife came in the room and she said, "Get out of here." I could see the look on her face. You gotta be kidding me, right? So, so we had a nice little laugh about it. But I said, no, honey, these guys get who I am. Oh, I forgot to turn my camera on. Oh, let's do this. Okay. I said, no, honey, these guys understand who I am. Sorry, guys, getting a call. Stop. Okay. Sorry about that. So, Obi-Wan. Here I am, Obi-Wan Kenobi. And so with that, I want to give you some of my favorite quotes as Obi-Wan, okay? The first one is, it's to all of our new founding members. You've taken the first step into a larger world. Our new members who are coming in, this is your first step into a larger world. Another famous quote of mine, skill is the child of patience. Okay. Another quote, the road lies before you. Will you take it alone? No, don't take it alone. Take some people with you, right? In my experience, there is no such thing as luck. That's a good one, right? Hard work, work, sharing the opportunity, consistency, right? Another, many of the truths that we cling to depend greatly on our point of view. The truth is often what we make of it. You hear what you want to hear, you believe what you want to believe, okay? This is to all you people who occasionally get a no, right? If you strike me down, if you say no to me, I shall become more powerful than you possibly can imagine. And this one I'm modifying a little bit. I am stronger as a part of the Nexus family than I could ever be alone. So I will end to, I see we have Luke here, a couple of Lukes, Luke Thomas, Luke G, two Lukes, but you guys could all be Luke. May the force be with you, Luke, okay? And then I'll just borrow one from my, another Jedi friend of mine, Yoda, who says, try not, just do. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to the Jedi Master, another Jedi Master, John Cini. So, John, the call is yours.
Thank you, Art. I appreciate that. And I love the fact that you've got your Obi-Wan robe on. Awesome sauce. Alec Guinness. I mean, come on. There you are right there. Do or do not. There is no try. Exactly right. Good call, Luke. I actually have that on my wall, which I will happily just yank down here just for our meeting, because yes, it is mandatory right there. That is words to live by. My wife bought me that just so I could have it right here on the wall, always looking at that. But it really is my motto for sure. You know, there is no try. You either did or you did not. You either succeeded or you failed. And one of the great things about Jeff Olson's book, the what's that thing called? Someone will tell me in the chat box. Slight Edge. Thank you. Everyone should have that book. If you don't, go get it. You're welcome, Jeff. There's 50 more sales for you. But that, heck, most of the people on here, I'm sure, have read it. But that book, he talks about success is not this path. Success is failure, a little bit of success, a lot of failure, a little bit of success. And, you work your way up, but it's failing along the way in that jagged edge of the slight edge to get to where you want to go. It's no different than I heard this from Anthony Robbins 100 years ago. Man, that really is Alec Guinness right there with the hood on. That's it. You got Obiwan going for sure. I know what you're going to be for Halloween. And see, I was on target. Don't question my call there. I love it. I mean, think about it, everybody on here. How many times have you had the chance to, learn from the Jedi Master? It's brilliant. So take advantage of it. But that the whole slight edge mentality I learned from Anthony Robbins a long time ago, that if you have a course and a plan on where you're going to go, even still, you're going to be off course much of the time, just like a plane flying from here to, Fiji. Most of the way is constantly correcting because of the wind and so forth. And that is the same thing with our journey on here. When I started in this industry, I was terrified to pick up the phone. I didn't know what to say. And worse than all of that, I had no idea of the ease of working into massive success. My mindset was all wrong. And Art talked about going forward and taking people with you. My mindset, I was coming out of the Army, everything was, if it's to be, it's up to me. And, I didn't have a good, well, we had some teamwork in the military, but it was still, take care of yourself. And, unless you're in some type of teamwork organization, you really weren't thinking about other people. And there are a lot of loners in the military, and a lot of people just kind of tolerated each other. Here, everybody's encouraging everybody. It really is a family, as Art alluded to it earlier. So it is a learned behavior. If you've already got that down, awesome. Then you're way ahead of where I was when I started in the industry in my early 20s. I'm going to share my screen here and talk about getting started. If you're brand new to the business, then that's what we're talking about here. We're going to go over the steps. We do that on the first Saturday of every month. I apologize for my supreme getup here. I literally just walked in off the football field. I wasn't playing football. I was playing Frisbee football. So I don't get beat up too much in my old age. But there's some teamwork right there. If your whole team is running the field, it's pretty easy to score, which is another reason why we love playing. But if your team is lollygagging, you're going to get chewed up if the other team is running the field as a team together. And in Nexus, in network marketing and direct sales, it really is teamwork because people want to be part of something that's big and getting bigger. And if you don't have a team around you, behind you, that is working with you, a lot of times, you're going to be doing it on your own, and it's going to be tough. So first thing, network, get plugged in. If you don't feel like you have a good team above you in your upline, connect with sideline. I can't even tell you how many great people I've met, getting to know them sideline, even some of the top leaders of other companies. I always ask questions. And when I do that, I find out very quickly how many people they enrolled, how many downline they have total underneath those people, how many years have they been in the business, what was their biggest challenge in building their business. These are the kind of questions that people will happily answer without really any hesitation at all. I mean, they're flattered that you're asking the questions, they're impressed that you're asking these questions, and that usually leads to amazing info. I talk to people all the time today, as you've seen on a bunch of our calls when we interview new people. Hey, how long you been in here? How'd you find out about it? How many other companies have you worked before? What's your favorite thing about the whole industry? These are great questions that anybody can ask anybody anytime, And, just make the rounds and talk to people. You can even start conversations with people in the Nexus Facebook group, or, going on and looking at people who have a YouTube video out or anything. I mean, it's a great conversation starter. Hey, how long have you been in the direct sales industry? And what are your challenges? You got any good advice that you give newbies like me? I ask the question all the time. In fact, in my first company, I literally interviewed every single one of the top reps. It was a certain rank, we called it blue diamond back then. Here, it's 1-star, 3-star, diamond, whatever. So you seek out those people, and that's what I did. I was kind of like Success Magazine, walking up to all these people and saying, what did you do to get where you're going? How many people, this is my favorite question, how many people did you personally enroll on your front line? Okay, that's level 1, personally enrolled, whatever you want to call it, sponsor. And, there's a common denominator there, and start to figure it out real quick. Hey, I probably need to go recruit 30 or 40 people. Now here in Nexus, because it's such a low cost thing, it's pretty easy to plug people in. What I do is I just triple or quadruple, maybe even 5 times the number that's typical in the industry. So, if you need to go get 30 or 40 frontliners in another company, you probably need to go get 100 people here, 50 to 100 for sure out of the gate. And then, if you go get 50, you probably want to go get 50 more. And that's where I am right now. That's what we all have to do to go out there and blow this thing out. Now, if you're sitting there going, 50 people, I can't do that. I hear you, but I'm telling you, you have to up your game. When you have a lower cost amount, it's going to be a smaller dollar amount. So you got to do more people to get to the traditional $100 a month per head. We're doing 1/5 of that. So usually 5 times. The beauty here is it's so much easier for other people to bring people in that you're probably talking about twice as many enrollments. So that 1/5, might all of a sudden, instead of doing 5 times that, you might only have to do 2 or 3 times that to get the same number of people in. It's a beautiful thing. It's a very rare day that you can go put 1,000 people in, 2,000 people in a month or two, but that's what we did. And, we fully expect to have tens of thousands of people plugged in here when we're all done. And we have to. It's not optional to not do that. So now you can kind of get a little bit of my mindset in starting here, when we talk about getting started right. For me, it's always been, even at age 24, when I didn't know up from down, all I want to know is how do I get to $10,000 a month? Because I figured if I got there, everyone would know this is real. The money would be significant and pretty hard to deny. And that path to 10 grand a month has always been my focus. And, with that ease of building, then, it kind of makes it very real. And I just went over all the stuff on the slide, so I'm going to jump through it real quick. Normally, in a traditional MLM or network marketing business, MLM, by the way, is multi-level marketing. You get paid on multi-levels of people. If you're the CEO of Ford or GM, you get paid on multi-levels of people. Okay, I don't know if that's a newsflash for anybody, but when you build our organization or our pyramid, if you want to call it that, where here's the CEO, then you got some presidents, VPs, some managers, and then millions of people underneath them. That's a pyramid. Everything in shape is a pyramid. You got God, you got Adam and Eve, and then you got everybody on the planet. You got a general in the army, you got colonels and majors and lieutenants, and then tons of privates and sergeants. Everything in life is a pyramid. And as soon as you embrace that, understand it, internalize that, then it helps you get beyond the whole stigma of network marketing. Oh, that's one of those things. Well, one of those things, we're just building a traditional company just like everybody else has, only we're starting it ourselves. If I go buy a McDonald's business, I was passing one that's being built not far from me here down in North Houston. And, first thought in my head was, okay, the guy who is building that building, he's literally spending hundreds of thousands of dollars on the building right out of the gate. Then, and he probably had to, show McDonald's, hey, yes, I'm worth $1 million, net worth of $1 million, just to get in line to get a McDonald's franchise. Then he's got to go through McDonald's University and on and on and on, so that he runs the business properly. All this stuff is documented. It's not a secret. And then what does he start doing? He starts building his pyramid. He's got to go hire a general manager for his store. He's got to go hire a couple of assistant managers. Then he's got to hire his troops under them. All of that stuff is him building his organization where he will be King Kong and everybody in that McDonald's will be under him or under her. Sorry, I didn't want to get this only one gender here. But that building of that organization is no different, than what everybody does in every business out there. If you're a manager and you got people under you, you got a pyramid. Okay. My dad was a colonel in the Army. He had a huge amount. He had thousands of soldiers under him, and on and on and on. Art's the owner of Nexus. He's got a humongous organization underneath him, from staff and people that are helping him program and code and answer the phone and respond to emails and follow up on business development, and then a humongous number of people in the rep force. It's the exact same thing. So when people get all wrapped up about network marketing or MLM, the only difference is we have the ability to get paid on those multi-levels. Whereas if we went and plugged into somebody else's pyramid in traditional business, we wouldn't have that opportunity. And that's what you have to be able to explain to other people when you're talking about networking. Now, in your traditional networking business, not traditional business, but traditional networking business, right? You got to go get 2,000 people who are doing $100 a month each, which would be 200 grand in revenue. And if you recall from our call just a couple days ago, we heard about, how you have to go get $100,000 out of the gate before you really have enough revenue to know that something's going to take off. I mean, Rob Phelps, Art's brother, on Thursday was talking about that. And, that kind of revenue might seem very intimidating, but, you're looking at a minimum of 5% in any networking company pretty much, and that would be a $10,000 check. So I knew when I was fairly young, in my 20s, hey, I got to go generate 200 grand to get to that 10K. Now, I figured I would probably, with other bonuses, get to that 5-figure check without hitting the 200 grand mark. But it's fascinating because in my 18th month, I went over 2,000 people. I had 2,200 people, and my average was just over $100 per person. And do the math on that. I actually did 220, not 200. And there you go. If I had gotten paid 5% exactly on that, you can do the math, and that would have been over 10 grand. So that was the beauty there. It kind of firmed everything up in my mind. There I was, 25 years old, and I had a business that was doing $200,000 a month in revenue. I mean, gee whiz, if I had been a real estate agent, that would be like me selling one house every month, right? If I was selling houses for 200 grand, but that's with everyone spending $100. Here it's 22 1/5. Again, I touched on that already. So using that same math, you need 5 times the people at 1/5 the spend right there. Okay. I hope that makes sense to you. And then, so 2,000 downline times 5, right? If you need 5 times the people, I need 10,000 people here instead of 2,000 to go and get to that 10 grand a month, because I mean, a buck a head, there you go. And 10,000 times 22 would be 220 grand. It's fascinating how the numbers here line up with what I'm talking about. What's your commission on that 22 bucks? It's about $1 a month. It's going to be actually quite a bit more than that as your organization grows and forms up solidly, where the bulk of your people are on your 4th, 5th, 6th levels. But in the beginning, you're looking at about $1. As your organization matures, you're looking at like $1.50. And my attitude is, when I look at this, okay, I got to put 2,000 in a typical company or 10,000 in Nexus. What's easier to build? Now, anybody with a brain is going to go, 10,000 is like 5 times more than 2,000. I'll go with 2,000. But the reality is, it's probably way easier to get to 10,000 here than 2,000. And that really is the essence of what we're talking about. How long will it take you to go get 2,000? Now, I told you at age 25, it took me about a year and a half to get an organization, 18 months. So I was right in the middle of that year, 2 years, to get to 2,000 people in my organization. So if it should take you 5 times to get that 10,000 downline, then you'd be looking at 2.5 years to 5 to 10 years, right? There's 5 times right there. And all of a sudden it's like, oh my gosh, it's going to take me forever to get to serious money. But what if it only took you half to get to that 10,000 instead of 6 months to 24 months? What if it only took you 12 months or 6 months to get to 10,000 downline? Because of the low cost, Nexus is 10 times easier to build, 10 times faster to grow. Now, you might look at that and go, well, I've been here for 2 months and that's not been the case. Hey, that's fine. It will, if you continue to bring people on, you find the right leaders, you will see that it will grow way faster than any other company out there in lotions, potions, pills, or $100 bills. So spending $22 is an instant decision. It's like buying popcorn and junk when you go to the movie theater later on today or Monday. Whereas spending $100 and $100 every month, that month and after, that's a major buying decision. And when you've got products stacked up in your closet, in your garage, because, hey, I didn't use all my stuff last month, definitely can't sell it at this price. It's hard to find people. I got to go every month, sell. That's hard to do. In anything, I don't give a crap what you're selling, whether it's, skincare or, some magic antioxidant supplement or weight loss, every single one of those things, it is hard to go sell $100 a month. And so what you do instead is you try to eat it all, right? Or I'll give it away to everybody for Christmas. We've all done this. If you haven't, you're brand new on the planet, or you just haven't been looking at the networking world. But anybody who's been hanging around networking for the last 5 or 10 years, you've seen all this craziness. And that's where half your people quit in a few months because of that difficulty of going and getting people to take action, right? I hope that makes sense. So, all of that stuff leads to the beauty of Nexus and what we have here and why you want to go build it. Now, if you're not familiar with how to get to that 10K income off the comp plan, that's not my focus here. So I'm not going to spend a lot of time on that now. If we have time after, and if there's a lot of questions about that, I'm happy to spend time on that. I told you you're looking at around $1.50 as you flesh out your organization, as your group matures, and you get the bulk of your organization on your 4th, 5th, and 6th levels. And you'll see on the comp plan chart, and I'll just tee that up for you real quick here. I'll give you a little taste of that just so you can see it. But as you get to that amount, you can then kind of say, all right, is it realistic for me to go and get there? That's what you're looking at right here. Make sure that's on the screen there. So that, it shows you down on the 4th, 5th, and 6th levels, you're earning $1 on the 4th, you're earning $1.25 on the 5th, $1.50 on the 6th. And then you've got the dynamic compression starting right here at the 1-star rank, where if people are not meeting their qualification requirements, all the extra is going to flow up to you or to one of us, not the company. So it is going to be paid out, and that's why you want to race to that 1-star rank immediately. You get 100 people in your organization. Now, if you go get 5 people, you got to have the minimum 5 to hit these other ranks. And that's it. They don't make you go. Art and Rob have been very generous here. Normally in companies, if you go hit 5 to get to one of these initial ranks, then you got to go get 5 more, a bunch more, whatever. Increase your PV, your personal volume, to collect at the higher ranks. They didn't do that here. They said 5, that's it, boom, done. So you can ride 5, and to get to 100, that means each of your 5 need 20, right? I hope I didn't lose anybody on the math there. 5 times 20. So you'd need 5 legs of 20. And, reality is you're going to have maybe 1 leg of 50 and then, 4 or 5 legs of 5 or 10. And that's how you're going to get to 100 people in your organization, but that's where you start getting, you now are master of the universe of your own organization, where the dynamic compression is coming to you as other people have not ranked up and gone and gotten all the commissions that are available to them. Conversely, if you have someone go crazy under you, which is a great problem, that's what we all want, then if that happens and they match or, you know, reaches your rank or exceeds your rank, match or outpace you, then you're going to miss out on some competition there, compensation there. And you won't miss out on the competition. They'll be making you run faster. What's the fastest way to run faster or run with someone who runs faster than you? You got 6 levels here that you're going to get paid on in these amounts, no matter what anybody does under you. But when they reach or exceed your rank, then they're going to code you out. They're going to match you and block you from getting further rank. So if you're, let's say, Pro 50, and you bring somebody on and they race to 1-star 100 right away underneath you, then they will have blocked you for any of the 25 cents beyond the Pro 50 in their organization. All the rest of your people, you're still rocking and rolling and loving life. But on that one, you'll be blocked, but you'll still get all that pay right there. And that makes life wonderful. So brilliant setup here on the comp plan, totally looking out for everybody in the company, giving you almost instant access down 6 levels. All you got to do is go get 5 personals. All right. So I said I wanted to talk about that, and look what I did. I talked about it. So let me jump back here to my little chart, and we're going to go step by step down our fast start checklist. And this is everything that you need. All you got to do is duplicate right here, stay on this page from day 1 to day 365, and let's check back in a year and see how you did. Actually, let's check back on day 60, 2 months from now, and see how you did. See if you follow the system, and then do the numbers that we recommend you do. And if you do that, you're probably going to build a big organization and love Nexus. If you don't do that, then you bring on 3 or 4 people, and then you stop recruiting, and then you want them to go and do all the work, and then you're wondering why it didn't take off. First step right here, review the back office and the videos. Make sure that you've gone through the comp plan thoroughly. You just got a little taste of that from me, a little taste. Art does a great job of detailing all the pay in the flip book, okay? And he gets into a lot of detail. Doesn't give you every single thing, but he gives you a lot. Everything that you need to know where to go. Download and set up the apps. Pretty simple to do that. Follow that guide in the back office. We also have a video. You can go see it. Yours truly, I did a 20-minute video on, walking you through setting those things up. That will become more and more and more streamlined, that process there. So we got some great stuff in the works on that. But it's good enough for now. You can still go out and bring people on, and they can bring people on, and you get hundreds of people very quickly. Use your Rakuten $30 deal. My goodness. That is a beautiful handout. Everybody in this company should go and grab their $30, and then everyone you bring on should go and grab their 30. And when they do that, you get 30 as the sponsor. Yes, that's true. And there's no limit on how many people you can get that 30 from. So if you go get 10 people in the next week who go get that $30, even if they're free, you can get $30 when someone else gets $30 on money that they were already going to spend. I spend $100 and something $50 at Sam's Club every month. I just placed my regular Sam's Club order, but I did it through the Rakuten site. I logged in there, then I clicked on Sam's Club from there. Then I went and did my regular shopping. I logged in at Sam's after I went through the Rakuten portal. Rakuten gave me a whopping 1% back. Now, right now they have a 2% cashback deal. Whoop-de-doo, you spend $100, you get an extra 2. But I was going to spend that money anyway. So I went through the Rakuten portal. Then I went through Sam's Club portal online and placed my order. It was $130. I went and picked up my order. It was paid for. Rakuten gave me $30. So I just got 130 down to 100. And they gave me 1%, which is another $1.30. Again, whoop-de-doo, but boom, there it goes. I got $31.30 because I went and just spent money I normally spend. It took me 2 seconds to go to the Rakuten website, click on Sam's Club, and then go do my regular shopping, just like I always do. Same thing with Upside. Before you leave the house, tee it up. Now, I got slides on this, and we're going to make this real user-friendly. You know, when I go onto my Upside app, it's such an easy thing. I just click right here. I don't know if this is going to show up on the screen just because of the light. Yeah, I figured that would be a bad idea. Anyway, that's my little Upside app. It says I've got $31 built up there. That's just from the last couple weeks. And it's got right now, I'm under $3 with their current offer. Now, again, I'm down here in Houston where a lot of refineries are, and our price of gas is usually lower than the rest of the country, so don't hate me. I chose to move here. You can do the same thing. We got plenty of room. Come on down. Art, get out of that New York cesspool. Oops, sorry, just kidding. I know, I love New York too. I've been there a million times. But hey, if you like paying $5 a gallon, then stay there. But wherever you are, if you're in New York or California or, you know, wherever the price of gas is to the moon, hey, I was up in Utah last weekend and it was like $4.50. I was like, what? That's crazy. So that's all the more reason why you tee up the gas app and save some money there. And that's what you're talking about right there, 15 to 25 cents. Now, my current offer, my best offer is 13 cents off per gallon. But on the people that I've referred in the last week, if I just referred one other person, I got 15 cents off of them. So I'm looking at 13 plus 15. So I'm at 28 cents. I'm more than what you have on the screen there, 28 cents a gallon on my next fill up. Cha-ching. Now, if I go get 3 people, I refer 3 people and they get the Upside app installed. Now I'm looking at 15, 45 cents plus my 13. So I'm at 58 cents a gallon off on my next fill up. You can bet I'm taking the tank all the way down and then going in there and getting my 58 cents. Pretty awesome. Available to everybody. And then we have the Benefit Hub discounts. Another thing we're going to flesh out. We're going to give you a ton more info, make it easy, especially for guests, you know, for new people to look at our list and go, hey, where do I want to save money on the Benefit Hub? Do I need dental or vision? Maybe. Some people do, some people don't. Do I need some hotels? Do I need a rental car? These are all areas where you can save money. Do I want to check my homeowner's insurance, my car insurance, my life insurance, health insurance? All of these things are easy places to save money on. I can keep going. There's tons of discounts on tickets and so forth. So go through that Benefit Hub list and save yourself money. Once you've done 1, 2, 3, you've now saved X number of dollars. You now have a story to share. And now you're going to be running your mouth just like I am, talking about how great Nexus is in the regular course of the day, telling everybody how great Nexus is. And that's where you want to be. That's where you really need to be. After that, you know, and that should only take you an hour, really, to go get your $30 there. You can spend 5 hours on Rakuten. There's so many stores, 3,500 stores there. You can spend forever on Upside just looking at their list of restaurants in your neighborhood. I mean, you could be on there for an hour just looking at all the discounts on restaurants. And you might only have 5 or 6. You might have within half an hour driving, you may have 50. It's just a matter of where you live. But most metro areas, you're going to see dozens and dozens of restaurants on there. And, you know, you go figure out where you want to go eat. You might find some discounts on movies or whatever. Once you've got all that, now it's time to start building. And I recommend everybody get a product story right there in your first hour on your first day. And I found that people who do that, who believe in the apps. Now, I knew about Rakuten and Upside long before Nexus. So as soon as I saw they had incorporated them into their business model, that was a cha-ching. I already knew that was going to be rock and roll. The question was, what am I getting in addition to that? And then I saw Benefit Hub, Shopping Box, all these other things. The NXRX, I know a lot of people that use prescription drugs. I don't have any, but that instantly was, hey, that could be good too. So all of a sudden, I had a product story and I was dangerous right out of the gate. That's how you want to be. Then set your goals. Where do you want to be in terms of income, in terms of rank? You know, you have to have those things match. because you can do the math real quick and figure out, hey, if I bring on 100 people and I'm only making $1 a head, that's $100 a month. Is that going to get you where you want to go? Probably not. Some people might say, yeah, man, I'd love to make an extra 100. But here's the thing. If you go get 10 people yourself and you're making $10 on each one of them, which is what you do. If you got 10 personal enrollments, that's going to pay you 10 times 10, pay you $100. Then on all the people they bring in, and then you're like, well, gee whiz, $100 is great. How about 200? Let me go get 10 more frontliners. Now I got 20 frontliners and I'm making 200 a month. And from those 20, you may get 3 or 4 who say, wow, this is awesome. I'm going to go build. And now all of a sudden your 3 or 4 turn into 100 or 200 people, and kablooey. That's where you want to take this thing to the moon. So, and you want to put a completion date. Some people call it a deadline, whatever you want to call it. You want to put a completion date on your goal. Where am I going to be in December? At the end of 2022, where am I going to be? January 1, 2023, what do I want to look like right here in Nexus? And if you say, I want to be 1-star by then, great. If you say, I want to be Pro 25 by then, great. If you say, I want to be ambassador by then, super great, as long as you're in my group. Just kidding. But that is the beauty of this, is that whatever your goal is, you are the master of your own universe. You get to decide where you're going to be, and then you got to go do it. Okay? Do or do not. There is no try. So you're not going to try to get there. You're going to do it. That's our little theme for the day on National Movie Day or whatever it is. And so now you've got a goal. How are you going to get there? Well, let's make a list. 1,000 names. I don't know 1,000 people. Guess how many times I have heard people tell me they don't know 1,000 people. It's like a weekly occurrence. Thousands of people have thought, I don't know 1,000 people. First thing I do, how many friends do you have on Facebook? Now, this is where I instantly get people. And, yeah, but I don't know all of them, blah, blah, blah. Whatever. You can still prospect them. And you have credibility instantly because you're on Facebook, you're friends with them. If you only have 100 names or 200 names on Facebook, that's okay. It's not over. I'm just getting going here. I mean, as you probably have cheated ahead, and a lot of these might overlap. You might have all of your Facebook contacts in your cell phone or vice versa, but whatever. The reality is I got 8,000 names in my cell phone. I've been saying that for years. Probably a lot more than that I haven't counted recently, but there's 1,000 right there. Now, if 2/3 of those overlap, that would only be like 700 or whatever. But I've had thousands of people email me in the last 2 years that are not friends with me on Facebook and are not in my cell phone. You see where I'm going here? You got your wedding list, you got your alumni directory, you got your homeowners association, you got your friends from church, and on and on and on and on. So all of that right there, everybody, you got thousands of names at your disposal. And we just brought somebody on, and she said, I only have X number of people. And, as we talked about a little bit more, all of a sudden it was hundreds of people, just like I just did with you. And that was good enough because she didn't want to go to the moon. She just wanted to earn an extra few $100. And I said, great. And she said, if I can do that, and then I can go from there and make another few hundred in addition, that would be awesome. And I said, awesome. I want to help you get there. So we're a team. And, if she puts me on the phone with a dozen people, I'm going to work for her. And that's the relationship. That's the team building concept that we talk about. And that's what we're moving into now, because now we're going to start contacting those people. And, I've got here, text 50 people in your first week. Heck, you can do that in your first day and then text the rest of the 950 as soon as possible. Now, it might take you a month. It might take you 3 months. It might take you 6 months to contact 1,000 people. I've been in here 3 months, 90 days, right? It's actually been 94 days, whatever. I have not contacted 1,000 people. Why? Because I contacted like 300 and I signed up, 50, whatever. I think I'm on 68. And of those people started building and growing, and I had to spend time with those people. And you never want to sacrifice helping existing reps in the name of going after new reps. Okay. So you always want to support your people. And if they're putting you on the phone with people, if they're blowing and going and you're running with them and you're both sprinting, that's the kind of teamwork that you're looking for. That's the environment that you want, and where you help your downline go, go, go. And if they go faster than you, if they have more success than you, that's a great thing. That keeps them here. I'm all about helping my people make more money than me. Doesn't happen that often, but when it happens, yeah, woohoo, that's what I want. And that's the beauty of this business. So get 50 people notified immediately about what's going on here. And by the way, I know if you're on my team, if you contact 50 people, I know. Why do I know? Think about that. How could I possibly know that 50 people are responding, or even 5 people are responding? Because you're calling me up saying, can you get on the phone with these people? Or you've got guests on the webcast, right? Kind of a no-brainer. Then you want to start enrolling people. Obviously get 3 people and you have covered, if you get $10 ahead on each one of them. Now with our $5 coding, you're probably only going to get $10 on 2 of them and then $5 on 1 of them, something like that. And Art can correct me if I botched that. But it doesn't matter. Bottom line is you go get 3 or 4 people and boom, you're in profit. Heck, if you get 10 and 10 and 5 or 10, 5, 10, whatever, $25 on 3 people. And you are now, you've pocketed that money. You've covered your $21.95. It's a beautiful thing. Now, if you've got 2 more, so 5 total, you're at the pro rank, and now you're getting paid down 6 levels. So if someone goes crazy underneath you, all of a sudden you got Herman down there on your 6th level, and you're like, yeah, I'm missing out. No, you're not. Hey, you're already getting paid down 6 levels. Even if it's just a little bit, you're still getting something on that. And that's just an amazing setup right there. And then you want to go get your 25 total downline in place. Now, look, if you go get 5 people to get to pro rank right there, all of a sudden, you know, you just need 20 more people. That's 4 of them going and getting 4 each, you know, and all of a sudden you are on the map. You've ranked up twice, and you've got some good info to share with people. Hey, I just went to Pro 25, and you're off to the races. So, by the way, a team of 50 to 100 people grows at the rate of growth of the company. And if you don't believe me, go throw 100 people in and watch. It's pretty incredible, because they're all going to get all those great emails from Art and Rob from the company telling them what's going on for the week. They're going to be able to get on the webcast. You know, they're not waiting on you, wondering what you're doing, wondering what your rank is, wondering if you're recruiting or if you're sitting at home watching TV. You know, they're not, there's a lot of people in your organization there that don't even know your name. I got tons of people underneath me that they're like, John, who are you? You know what? And why do I even care that you're there? I need to go build my business. I am the master of my universe. So I'm not worrying about, you know, what somebody in my upline's doing. And that's the power of building a big team, because now they're growing and you're off to the races. Put on your calendar all the webcasts. We roll Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Tuesdays at 8 p.m. Eastern, Wednesdays at 1 p.m. Eastern, Thursdays at 8 p.m. Eastern, and here we are Saturday morning. Even on a holiday weekend, here we are, jamming. This is the most important month, September, and then, you know, things still rolling in October, and things can be crazy in December. Actually, I've had amazing Christmas. I got to tell you guys, it was Christmas of 1995. I'll never forget it. And my company came out with a new product, and my check that month, the previous month, in November of 95, it's like burned on my brain. I made a $12,000 check in November, and that new product came out. Everybody went crazy about it, and my check went to 17 grand in December of 95, and I just couldn't even believe it. I mean, I was drowning. Like, all I could see was dollar signs everywhere. It was ridiculous. It was really hard for me to get out of bed. And, you know, at that age, I don't remember what I was. I think I was 29 years old. But the point was, I had no control over my group at that point. And, you know, everybody was like, John, who? They were out there just cranking away. They would see me at the hotel meetings, and we would go and we'd have some multimillionaire at the front of the room talking about all the success they had. It was crazy. But the beauty was my group was growing with or without me. So it didn't matter if I was there or not, as Art already talked about. Alonzo's group is growing even with him not there. And, I feel a little bit, I'm like, that's, it's painful to say that. Obviously, we wish he is here, but he, put in place a nice business that can grow and benefit his family without him being there. And that's something that is invaluable. And that's what we all want to do. We all want to build a business that grows and grows and grows, that's there whether we are there or not, that's willable, that's sellable. Scott Becker, my business partner, talks about this all the time. It's so important. He's a pastor of a humongous congregation that he's been running for 20 years. Yeah, he's getting up there in age. He's older than me. I can make fun of him. Oh, wait, I can't do that. It's impolite. But is he on this call? No? Good. Let's talk about him. Just kidding. I don't even know if he's on here or not. I haven't taken time to check. But he built a huge business, traditional business, and he has counseled many people as they've lost a loved one. And in that process, he's seen people who had put in place the financial instruments to take care of their loved ones and people who had not. And unfortunately, the have-nots usually are a lot more than the haves, right? But here is a way that, besides going and buying a super cheap term life insurance policy, which everybody on here should do. I sound like a life insurance salesman. But in addition to that, you should also go and get a network in place that will continue to grow with or without you. So that's the power of what we have here with Nexus. We have a very simple system. Now we're going to get into some basics on actually building this. And I'm just going to take another few minutes and then we're done. And then we'll open it up for questions on how to really grow your system and duplicate. Duplication is the key, because if you're not duplicating, then you're just wasting your time, right? So you want to use our PS3 system: peak interest, share info, and three-way call. I always say to people, if you're not three-waying, you're not making money. So here's how you introduce the business. That's the peak. And then you follow up, share more information, and then close them out. Three-way, right? How do we peak interest? How do we create curiosity? Hey, Art, I heard you're an entrepreneur. Is that true? Art says to me, absolutely I am. What do you got? Or he says, I am, but I'm swamped right now. I might call Art up and I might say, hey, Art, quick question, business question for you. And then my 6 favorite words: are you open to new business? And Art may say yes, or Art may say no. And if Art says no, I say, oh, bummer. No worries. Let me know when you are. And Art may be like, well, curiosity, I want to hear about it anyway. And I may say, well, that would mean you're open. And then he might say, no, I'm not. There's nothing I can do until December or until January. You can have that back and forth without giving them any info. You're creating curiosity. That's what we do. We pique the interest. That means we maximize, we heighten their interest level. And you do that psychologically by taking it away. It's a whole nother training that we haven't even done here. But when you pique that interest, when you create that curiosity, all of a sudden you got people listening. And if I could help you save money on money you're going to spend anyway, would you want to hear about that? Ding! Yes, please. That's piquing interest right there. Send a 2-minute video. I got 2 minutes on our rep website. It's 4 minutes. Whoop-de-doo. I got a 4-minute intro video. Go watch that. Boom. And you share that info right there. Send them a text. You do not want to lead any prospecting campaign with email. If you got 10,000 people on an email list, okay, do it, but your open rate's going to be awful. Text, text, text. Why do I text everybody? I got on the phone. Actually, I didn't get on the phone. I texted a major networker, and she's made crazy 7 figures in the industry, and she's a dynamite person. I texted her, and she texted me back, And this was a few years ago, and she was kind of shocked. This is how long we've been doing the Text for Success system. And she said, really, John, is that the way you're going to say hello to me? You're not even going to say hi and catch up with me first? And I said, Michelle, none of you know her, so I can use her name. I said, Michelle, I would love to catch up with you. In fact, for you, I will spend an hour with you. But the reality is, I have texted so many people the info that I just sent you that I don't have time, because the response is so incredible to my text. I would love to spend an hour catching up with everybody. I can't do it. This is too white hot. And then she was like, oh, immediately spun that thing around. And now all of a sudden she was listening. And that's the beauty of the text. Same response to everybody, you're going to hear it. So critical part of the whole process is getting people to watch a webcast. Once you give them the intro video, and pretend that says 4 minutes, because now it is 4 minutes, and then getting them to watch a webcast, and you can send them to the recording, nexusyoutube.com, right there. We got tons of webcasts on there. Pick your favorite one and give them that one, and roll with that. That's all you need. We got half an hour webcasts on there. We chopped a couple of them down. We've got, hour-long webcasts, whatever they want. There's plenty. Obviously, if you send them to nexusyoutube.com, they're going to watch whatever they want. So you're not going to be able to stop them. What you do want to stop is them going to Google and then going and listening to Charlie Brown's version of Nexus Rewards. You don't want that, because then you have no quality control. You have no idea what they're looking at. If you give them mountains of hours of video to watch on nexusyoutube.com, then you can feel fairly confident they're going to get a good look at the business, and they're also going to know, hey, Art is the one that told me about it. Okay. And that whole process is critical to, how you get this rolled out effectively. All right. So we talked about peaking. We talked about sharing. Last step, three-way call. What I do is I call up Art and I say, hey, Art, I've got this monster man, Fred, that I need to do a three-way with. Will you be available tomorrow at 3, or will you be available today at 3? And Art says, yeah, great. Talk to you then. Then I book the appointment with my prospect. Sometimes you do it vice versa, but the serving suggestion is to have your upline at least knowing you're going to try to connect with, You're going to connect with them. There is no try, sorry. See, every once in a while, it sneaks in there. It's evil. You got to kick it out. So I'm going to get Art available, and then I'm going to get the prospect on the phone with them. Now, I might fail, but I'm going to make the effort. And usually if the upline says I'm free, or even sideline, you can get sideline, do a three-way too, then the prospect is available. And then you might have, because I'll call Art up and I say, hey, I'm calling Fred now. Great. And then we dial him together, and then he may not answer the phone, or he may text me and say, sorry, I thought I was going to be free. I'm going to be another half an hour, or, if something came up, can we do it tomorrow? Whatever. And then, Art's like, yeah, I can do it tomorrow at the same time, whatever. But that is the three-way, and, sideline if necessary. Vital part of the duplication process. So important. Shows you got a team, shows you got a system, shows you got people beside you that are singing this from the same hymn book. And I tell you what, when you have one other person on there, it's like everybody's doing it. If it's just you, you're the only one doing it. If it's you and one other person, everybody's doing it. It's really amazing how that whole setup works, because like I said, if you're not doing three-ways, you ain't growing. You won't get good duplication, and the calls are so easy to do. It doesn't cost anything other than time. And then that's what your people are going to do when they experience that three-way call with you. So do your IPAs, your income producing activities first before you do anything else. PS3. And if you've done a ton of peaking, how many people did you get on the webcast? How many people did you do three-way calls with? If you haven't done any three-way calls and you've been in here for a week or two, how many people have you signed up? Now, let me tell you something else. If you have signed up a bunch of people without three-ways, you still got a challenge. Go back to them and do the three-way anyway, because otherwise they're not going to do three-ways. And I promise you, 1 or 2 levels down, all of a sudden everything stops. You're not getting duplication because you didn't have the 3-way system rolling. Hope that helps. That's really the bottom line here. I could obviously talk about all these systems for another 8 hours, but not going to. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to bid everybody adieu, say thank you very much for getting on here. Have a fantastic day. Call up line, do 3-ways, get on the webcast. Our next webcast will be Tuesday, the day after Labor Day. We will see you on there.